Kimberly's continued to do a lot of skin-to-skin time with both of her twins, and they're getting bigger and more mature. She's kept up her pumping routine and maintained her great milk supply. Riley's no longer on CPAP, but she is still on oxygen, and she's still getting all her feeds by NG tube. She's now 33 weeks gestation. Kimberly's noticed that Riley's been showing some signs of readiness to breastfeed when she holds her skin to skin. Even before the baby's ready to drink milk, mom and baby can start the process of practice breastfeeding, which we call non-nutritive breastfeeding. Watch Riley's nurse help mom and baby have their first breastfeeding session.
Hi, Kimberly.
Hi.
How are you today?
Good.
Good. Thanks for coming in a little bit early before Riley's feeding, because today we're going to start looking at Riley's cues. You've been putting her skin to skin for a couple of weeks now, and now Riley, around 30 weeks, and between 30 to 32 weeks, we start letting her explore the breast a little to become a little bit more oriented to your breast to help with her breastfeeding. The ultimate goal is for her to be breastfeeding some of her feedings when she goes home. So today I'm going to have you, as you're changing her diaper, to start watching Riley for some of the cues that she's going to start showing us. Those cues that let us know that she's maturing enough to start migrating down towards your breast are for her tongue to start this movement, kind of a lapping movement. She can root, she can kind of turn her head like she's looking for your breast. Sometimes even her hand coming up towards her mouth a little bit. These are all signs that show us that Riley's starting to mature and ready to go on to the next step. So Riley is still on CPAP, but she's shown us that she is stable enough to start to go use blow-by as she goes to skin. And you have been handling her a lot now, so I'm going to have you go ahead and turn her over after I take her off the CPAP and have you change her diaper. And as you handle her, start watching the signs that Riley, as she starts to wake up, what she starts to do. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and hand you the blow-by, and you can just put that right in front of her face in there.
Okay.
Okay, so now you pumped your breast before?
Yes.
Okay, so right before, when we had you do skin to skin, sometimes we would ask you to pump right afterwards because your prolactin levels were higher and you would get more milk supply. This time we ask you to pump right before.
So why is it that I'm pumping right before?
Well, Riley is going to be tasting some of your milk and licking and causing stimulation at your breast. And that can cause you to have that ejection reflex so that your milk lets down. And if milk enters her mouth before she's mature enough for that, it can cause her to react to that, maybe to stop breathing for a little bit or to have an event. Okay, so let's go ahead and have you hold Riley skin to skin. We're going to start out doing what you've been doing for weeks now, and we're going to have you hold her skin to skin.
Something. There we go. Thanks.
Okay, so we're just going to have you watch Riley.
Okay.
We're going to put a blanket over the top just to help keep her warm. Okay, so now start watching the movements of Riley. Her eyes are open. She's got her hand near her mouth. And there goes her tongue. See how her tongue is starting to go in and out? She's starting to have the cues that she's ready. Okay, so now go ahead and let her start migrating down towards your breast. Big yawn.
Yeah.
So you're going to turn her in towards you. And you're going to let her come up to your breast, and you're going to let her start to smell and to experience your breast. If she opens her mouth with rooting, go ahead and let her actually go on your breast. With that, go ahead and put her onto your breast there. Here she's sucking a little. Okay, now see how there you go, just pull her back off. Mm-hmm. So what we're doing is really watching Riley's cues.
She's yawning.
Mm-hmm. So you don't want to put your breast in her mouth when she's yawning, although we will frequently tell you to put it in her mouth if her mouth is open, but not when she's yawning. Go ahead and touch. Mm-hmm. Let her lick your nipple. And you can even try to express a little bit of milk out onto the nipple so that Riley can actually taste, almost lap at it. Oh, there she goes, sucking. Now when she shows us signs that she's sucking like this, she may be ready for the next step for the occupational therapist to work with you. Okay, so I'm going to go get Donna and have her take a look at how Riley's doing here.
Okay.
So she's more interested in licking right now. When she was actually sucking on your breast, she sort of came towards you. Her neck is back. Oops. And she's yawning. So I think she's just sort of collecting herself in a very confusing way because she's giving you feeding signs, yet she's pulling her body away.
So when she opens her mouth, am I supposed to
There she goes.
put her on it?
You can
Or
try.
just to push her head in, or
Let's see whether we can bring her body up a little bit and flexed and see whether or not that helps. Sometimes we have to reposition because, you know, you never know. Even though it looks okay to us, it's not working for her.
right?
Does that make sense?
Right.
Because it looked okay to me, but then she kept extending and wasn't that interested. So throughout the feeding, until she gets able to control her own body, she wiggled into another position and she just couldn't latch there. And sometimes when babies are looking really interested, but they're not able to stay on the breast, that's an indicator to me that they might need to try the shield, because they're latching on, but then every time they stop to breathe, she's falling off, and then she's getting frustrated and wiggling around, and then she tries again, and then so on. So, and see right now, so you're
So
dripping,
she's-
and so she's just sort of licking.
She's lapping it like a kitten.
Yeah. Licking it up.
And sometimes Riley starts very vigorous, like she's going to start eating, and then she turns and changes into this more of a licking and
Right.
smelling.
Which seems like what she did today.
Mm-hmm.
And so now she's sort of taking a break, which is fine. We'll just let her sort of collect there.